We are live. I'm live. I'm live. I'm live, and it's about to go down. Here we go. We are gonna talk battle spirits, and I'm gonna talk battle spirits. Why? Because they like to fight. They like to fight. They like to fight, and they're battling. They battle. They fight. That's what battle spirits do. And I'm gonna go nuts with all of these different tabs because I'm dick editing and I don't know the language, which kind of makes it hard. BSC 26 battle spirits. Yeah, I tell you, voice search. Chill. Dude, I'm feeling good. All right. We going live. Where's my live thing? I'm live now. Neon. Almond. What?
Neverlands.
Yeah, she my mod. She my mod. She's my mod, not your mod. Anyways, Neon Almond, I'm live. We're doing some Battle Spirit stuff tonight. Tonight, we're doing some deck editing. Kind of like what I did last time, except I just kept talking to my fans. Well, my viewers. I don't know, fans, viewers, whatever you want to call them. Maybe both. Fan. It was a viewer that became a fan. Yes. Hey, that's myself. Where's Nova Lamps? Oh wait, she's not Nova. She's a Nova Lamp Spirit. She's not a Gundam. Can you believe it? How could you not even be a Gundam? So, man, I gotta get my cards on the view. Maybe I need to have this camera up higher. Get more in the shot. Who knows? I'm streaming in like, I don't know, maybe the month. Learn how to stream, learn how everything goes. I got a lot of space over here that I could put cards in. So let me just rearrange my field because I was not a Boy Scout. Meaning I am not prepared. Even though I was a Boy Scout, so that's why I know that their motto is always be prepared. Well, I wasn't prepared for this one. Even though we clicked the button to go live, so how do you not be ready for your own live stream, Neon Omen? Hey, Neon Omen, you know what you're doing? I'm like, no, why do you think Novolance is doing it? My shawty knows how to stream. That's when you know you got a real one. When you got a girlfriend that knows how to stream, that's a good idea. So kind of like almost exactly what I was doing last time. I'm gonna try and edit my Biolante Godzilla deck. Now, Biolante Godzilla deck in Battle Spirits, it's gonna be a green-red deck, focusing on those two colors. Essentially, the strategy, a lot of the decks that I try to make in almost every card game I play is a multi-strategy deck. I like being able to do more than one thing with my decks. I like being able to, if I get derailed or if I don't necessarily get the prime combo, your primary focus, that you're not just waiting to draw cards to hopefully get some of the other cards that might help you. So you're not just completely just like, oh, draw for turn? Oh, I didn't get it? Guess what? I gotta wait a whole nother turn. It's kind of lame, it's kind of boring. Not fun. So that's the whole reason in this Biolante guy. And Biolante, honestly, is awful. Biolante is the worst kaiju in the entire Godzilla set. Heavy exhausting? Okay. How about I just exhaust you and attack over you with Mothra? Or I just blow you up with Godzilla? Or I need to swarm with, what is it, Destroya? Or, yeah, well, what's the, or there's just Godzilla just blows it up. I mean, there's so many ways to get rid of Biolante. It's just it tries to be like, I'm gonna sit here and not move. You're not gonna move me. I'm just gonna sit here. And then it does get moved. And then you're just like, well, there goes my strategy of sit here and do nothing. Sit here and do nothing. Nova Lance, you shared this yet? You can share it in the Tensei one.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you. I was actually doing.
You can do it under your profile too. I learned the last time because I uploaded a Battle Spirits video earlier that day. There's like a 9 hour like cooldown or like a 12-hour cooldown. So I couldn't even share my link. I had to like share it like in general. I had to share it in the wrong spot. So I am organizing. So what I'm trying to think of right now is how I want to play my Biolante deck. Now, all of my decks have gimmicks. And I like it that way. I like gimmicky decks. I like goofy decks. I don't necessarily always want to just go for the S tier strategy. Kind of the battle spirits that I like playing. I like making good decks, but I also understand that not every collaboration and not every set, if you're trying to make the deck like historically accurate or lore accurate, it might not be good. I have a few decks that are actually awful.
Yeah, give that to me. Thank you.
She won on my phone. And in 15 minutes, we get to see the new Battle Spirits card tonight. So it's going to be part of the Gundam collaboration. So, kind of what I'm trying to figure out in this deck right now is I have a few open spots that I'm debating on what to do with. I got 1, 2, 3. I have 6 slots. All right. I hear my mom scream in the background. So I got 6 spots right now. And I'm trying to think of how I want to... Man, these are so dusty. Kind of gross. Get distracted. Get distracted pretty easy. So, pretty much with this deck, what I'm trying to figure out is, as you can see right now, there's 0 Nexus cards. These 3 used to be the Mothra Searching Nexus. Oh no, I'm knocking over my chapstick I just got down. This guy right here. The Infant Island right here. See that beautiful Mothra and... Is that Batra too? It's both of the Mothra and Batra. But, oh, that was a... Oh, okay, I found that. Look at that. That is a perfect angle. And it kind of looks majestic with that light shining. But this Nexus... So, I'm trying to figure out what I necessarily want to do. Do I want better consistency? But the thing, because so this card right here, so I'm kind of thinking about 2 different cards. This Infant Island card right here, when you deploy it, reveal the top 4 from your deck. Add 1 Mothra card from those to your hand, and then put the rest in the bottom of your deck. Okay, so it's going to find you pieces, right? Well, what pieces in this deck are that important? It's kind of debatable, because the way that I'm designing this deck is that these 2 Mothras are going to gain you core. Of course, your resource, right? So you use your cores to play your spirits and play your nexus, so on and so forth. While this Mothra wants things to die, because this is the best Mothra in the deck. This Mothra says, if these die, then you get to summon then you can summon any green spirit from your hand that is a higher cost. Meaning you can, if this little 3 cost Godzilla vs. Mothra gets destroyed, and even say, and it just has to be destroyed by the opponent. So let's say you attack with it, and they block, and it gets destroyed, then you're like, okay, play Biolante for free. And they're like, wait a minute. Not only did I block this weak spirit, they just dropped like a 7 or 10 cost spirit for free. And then it's going to probably attack them too. So, it creates such an interesting fear of blocking too. So who knows? And then you could possibly play a mind game, because what if you don't have a stronger spirit to drop? Then you're kind of like, oh my gosh, I don't. You might be a little bit more frightened or a little bit more timid on how you play, right? So the consideration in this deck is really interesting when it comes to the battle tricks. Now, with these cards, there's really only 3 cards that you want to drop. You're going to want to drop your Biolante, well, either your Biolantes, or this big old Godzilla, because it's half green, half red. So, man, I am flipping down in this chair. I wonder if I can boost it up. A small intermission. No, Lance, you need to plug in the helmet.
Oh, thank you.
I saw it unplugged over there, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, well, it's got like 20% battery. That is not good. Come on, chat. Where are the viewers? Where are the viewers? So like the hard part about building this deck is you're gonna drop green spirits from your hand, right? You're gonna be able to play green spirits from your hand without paying the cost. So I kind of have to think about which green spirits that I want to play, that I might want to play for free. The second thing that I also have to take into consideration with this deck is diversity. One of the biggest things especially when it comes to the Godzilla Battle Spirits collaboration, is there's not many of them. There's only 2 and 1 special premium Bandai set. I guess there's a booklet too that has some super cool and powerful cards. The unfortunate part about the Godzilla set is the main sets were made almost 8 years ago was the first one, and the other one came out like 5 years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years. So it's super weird to me. It's really weird to me that there's not a large card pool. And when you don't have a large card pool, and when you play the way that I do, I only play collaborations. So if it's not a collaboration Godzilla card, it's not in the deck. Yes, absolutely, I know that restricts me from so many other cards. But when you play as many card games as Noble Ants and myself, Battle Spirits, Heartfight Vanguard, Digimon trading card game. We dabble in Magic the Gathering. We collect only the Ravnica sets, and after that we don't even, we might admire it, but it's going to be from afar, and I mean, I got binoculars, and I'm passing them over to Noble Ants, and I'm like, hey, you see that new red-green card? And she's like, oh, yeah, huh. Let's carry on with our day. It's just not that important to us. The game isn't that. It's not that. You also have to learn how to not spend money on cards, because we really like cards. But we also have to make sure that we don't go all out with cards, right? There's more things to spend money on than cards. Sometimes you need new sneakers. Sometimes you might need new clothes. Sometimes you get in a car accident. A lot of different things that can pop up in life that can make you have to use your money, but not the way that you intended it to. So I am over here, and I have to look up all of these Battle Spirits cards that I'm considering playing. You're going to hear all these little clicks from the mouse. Also, my mouse is whack. So I do apologize, but I might be yelling at my mouse because it's a lot to work half the time. And that is not fun. So right now I'm opening all 3 of the Godzilla sets. Now the booklet, already has one card from it, so we don't necessarily going to include any other card. The card from the booklet. Now, the booklet, dude, Premium Bandai just comes out with some, well, like, it's almost sad how awesome the Premium Bandai stuff is. Like, legitimately how cool it is. The Godzilla Versus series all came from a booklet. All of them. So, you have all of these powerful cards that come in a booklet, which is just seven cards. That's it. And most of them are pretty good. Most of them are pretty darn good. Ooh, 7 minutes, and we get our new card! But then you get this Premium Bandai set that legitimately comes with the best cards. This is part of it. I don't know why I'm yawning, man. I talk to myself all day. Believe me, it's just like, I guess there is like a little bit of fatigue from like the day, but at the same time, like, I'm so energized to be here. Like, I'm not like, this isn't like a drag for me. I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, let's do some Battle Spirits. Yeah. Oh, Armor Mothra. Interesting. Because one of the things in this deck is that I don't want to focus on Mothra. The only reason Mothra is in here is so you can cheat out larger things. One of the biggest problems that green faces in Godzilla decks is the total absence of draw power. There's 0 draw power in green. It just doesn't happen. The best thing that you really have is this Nexus right here, the Infant Island, where you reveal 4 cards and pick 1 moth. Looking at my deck right now, I play 9 Mothras out of a 40-card deck, so you pretty much play 25% moths. So if I did choose to play this card, that's probably the chance of you getting a card is going to be high, and getting this giant Mothra, the giant Mothra. That's what I used to call it because I didn't read it too much. The giant Mothra. That's saying moth like 6 times. It's like 3, but we'll round down. We'll round up. I don't know. We'll round wherever I want to round. Maybe I don't want to be round. Maybe no, I definitely don't want to be a square. So, and then its level 2 effect is kind of lame. All it does is give all your green spirits plus 2,000 BP. I mean, even with 2 of them, giving all your spirits plus 4,000 that are green, Biolante is already ginormous. The chance of Biolante getting like beat up is very little. It's probably not happening. I don't think it's happening at all. But at the same time, it's very important. So another thing is with this deck is it plays this Nexus called the Rose Blooming in the Lake. The Rose Blooming in the Lake, oh my gosh, this card is like, it's a $20 card. Because all it says at level 1, which takes 0 core, when your path 4 higher green spirit is summoned, put a core from the void to this Nexus. That's it. That's all you have to do. It is super simple. It takes like 0 to like no effort to do it. It's kind of funny almost. But this card is good in so many other decks. Honestly, it's almost worse in the Biolante deck, the deck that it's made for. Because there's so much, there's like in Digimon, the Diaboromon deck that Novolance plays. You play this card in that deck, and you can FTK unbelievably consistently. It's ugh. And I'm saying ugh because Novolance plows me with it all the time. Oh, you want to see 6 Diaboromons come out for free? I say no, and she's like, too bad, ho. And then they all drop down, and I'm like, I gotta deal with these. And she goes, yep. And I'm like, come on, Mike. Let the virus consume me. I like how she's on my account instead of her account. It's not me who's talking. It's my account's hacked. Twitch. Someone's trying to be impersonating me. So I am looking this way because, of course, I got to read the computer, La Computadora, to help guide me through my Battle Spirit's journey. I'm thinking of boosting this guy up to 3, though. It is a Biolante deck, so you kind of want the most Biolantes. How big does he get? 22,000, not bad. So that is actually pretty decent. So I don't know if I don't think I want to play this Godzilla Nexus, even though it gives me 2 reduction. It's kind of slow. I'll tell you what it does. So this Nexus right here, BS 26. Now it is cool because it does have 2 symbol. When the opponent draws, refresh a Godzilla named Spirit I control. Well, if I don't play many Gojiras, that effect is less than beneficial. It's almost just like, why bother? Level 2, it takes only 1 core, so super resource efficient. All of your Gojira named spirits can't be returned to the hand or deck by opponent. Well, guess what? We're for sure taking this card out because that's not a fear. We're not focusing on the Godzilla cards almost at all. It is a complete Biolante focus with a little bit of Godzilla firepower. I'm playing this Godzilla 1989 because it's kind of fun because he's ripping apart a Biolante. So it's the battle of Biolante versus Godzilla. So that's the only reason why I'm including them in here is just for that kind of fun lore meaning. So now I have to think about, okay, these 3, like, I don't think I should play a ton of Mothras. I'd rather play Biolantes, right? The deck, it's a Biolante deck. So we're going to just put this sleeve over here right now for Biolante. Now, technically, I do have a 3rd Biolante, but I ordered off eBay, and it's super damaged. And even though it's going in a case, and that I won't probably be playing with it for a long time. Oh, tonight is the Rakai Loom reprint for Battle Spirit. I don't know how I feel about that. Too many. These reprints are kind of lame. And I'll probably get a new Digimon card. No new Digimon cards? Aww. I like Digimon cards. Digimon card? Nope, nothing. Well, lane reveal. So we got all excited tonight for something that wasn't hype, like at all, like legitimately at all. It was kind of a lame, totally super lame. So we decided that we're going to play 3 Biolantes, or 6 Biolantes. Biolante deck, play the Biolantes. It's the right thing to do. It is the right thing to do. Now, look, so I think I want to play 2 of the Infant Island because Nexuses helps you with your reduction, right? Everybody likes reduction. Oh, there's a hair in there. Do you see how easy I get distracted? Nope, it's just super scratched. Oh my gosh, how is it so scratched? I already replaced one like last week. Anyways. I'm thinking of playing 2 of these guys right now, 2 of the Infant Island, because I do want the consistency of getting the Mothra. The core gain's really important, and overall, it is definitely a huge part of the strategy in this deck to guarantee that you are able to cheat your Biolantes out. So, I was thinking about taking these cards out, thinking on back in the deck, throw them back in. So let's get this Infant Islands back on into the deck. And we'll take the Infant Island here and we put it in there. So, got to do it carefully. And you'll notice that we got our English print off inserts so that we can know what they're doing. The other thing, like, and we had some dude at the card shop, like, you don't memorize your effects, like trying to be like funny. You're like, okay, what if you're my friend and I want to teach you how to play, and you are interested in the game, and I want to teach you how to play. Do you think? I mean, that barrier of entry is so high when you're like, learn this, understand this language, or we're not playing together. Oh, and by the way, I bought like thousands of dollars of the Battle Spirits cards. So if like I don't have people to play with, I just get to look at shiny cards. Now, of course, Novolance and Jet Saber play with me. A couple of the other Gundams play with me. Hopefully, we're going to get Soft Carry to play with us, and Makar. Soft Carry, don't you dare quit on us. Don't you dare quit on us. So now I'm kind of left with a couple of fun cards. Now, I'm going to test out the Anguirus over here. Or I'm thinking of testing out the Anguirus. Because I do want some additional diversity in the deck. I mean, literally all you just play Godzillas, Moths, and Biolantes. This guy is treated as green. Which, of course, and its symbol is treated as green. So it's going to get you that green reduction. This exhausted spirit, is unaffected by spirit and nexus attacks. So if you're aggressive with him, he's not necessarily. You don't have to fear getting nuked, bounced, banished, heavy exhausted, whatever. You're just gonna sit there. And next turn, hopefully, he'll be able to continue the aggressiveness. So being able to attack. And yeah, he only maxes out at 10,000, but his level 2 only takes 2 core. Spirits at level 2 only takes 2 core. I get along well with those spirits. Finally, level 2-3, like I said, only takes 2 core. It's at 7,000 BP. Draw a card when attacks. Draw a card. At the end of battle, if you control a Godzilla, Spirit, or Grandwalker, once per turn you can refresh them. So you want the draw power. So is 3 too much? Probably. Is 2? Probably. I think we could definitely go with 2. And then I kind of want to try out this Rodan Spirit just because it's a little bit of aggro. Rodan allows you to nuke a Nexus card with its Flash Excel ability. Flash Excel for 2 Ruby and 1 Emerald. Destroy an opposing Nexus. When this effect destroys, draw a card. So, not only do you nuke something, but you get something back too. But after that effect resolves, put this card face up in your remove zone. If you control a Godzilla, Spirit, or Grandwalker, instead of putting it in the remove zone, summon it without paying the cost. So, the thing is I don't have a lot of Godzillas. So, it's very, very, very unlikely that I'm going to be able to just play it for free. That's not what I want to do, though. Being able to nuke a Nexus and then possibly draw. It's not even a Gundam. There's not even a Gundam in my chat. Lame. Who's this Novolance Brittany? Is that a fake Novolance? I only know Gundam Novolance, so maybe we'll have to get it banned. Anyways, but the draw facts that these both have makes me want to consider them. But one of the biggest things, or biggest reasons why I want to consider them, is diversity. This deck does not have I'm running out of diversity. I've made how many Godzilla decks do you think I made? 8? I think I've made 8, so I'll count right here. I've made, gotta get the fingers. Shin Godzilla and Space Godzilla is one deck. We got Type 3 Kiryu as one deck. We got Mecha Godzilla as one deck. We got the Ghidorah deck. We got the Pure Mothra deck. We got the Godzilla and Mothra deck. And we are working on the Godzilla, and the Biollante deck. I think that's all of them. Oh, did I say Destroyer? I don't know if I said Destroyer. That could be 8 decks. So yeah, I have 8 Godzilla decks. So it's very difficult to try to keep the cards diverse when you have 2.5 sets to work with. Especially considering the fact that I don't touch the main set, except for Penton. Who doesn't want penguins? Who doesn't want some penguins, right? So that's what I'm saying, play. That's what I'm saying, play. Okay, so I want to test these guys out. I think that would be fun. Now, I don't want to keep these moths in. But what else could I put in there? Because the only reason that I play these moths is because it's another core generating card. And if it survives, you could probably generate more than one core. So it's going to replace itself with resources. And if it dies, well, if you have the giant Mothra on the field, then you just get to play another green guy that's huge for free. So maybe, I don't know, I really just don't want to play like 12 Mothras. It's not a Mothra deck. It's a Biollante deck. The only problem is there's just not a lot of Biollante cards. On top of that, there's not a whole lot of good green cards. So another card that I considered was this big, ugly insect thing called, what is it, Megalon? I gotta find this, what do they call it? The beauty side? Get my good side when you're on the red carpet? Not like any of us would know. Not like any of us would know that. But this big old insect guy, big old drill hand, dude, I gotta look his name up. It's gonna bother me. Noble Lance, do you know his name?
It's not Megaguirus, is it?
It is definitely not Megaguirus, but Megaguirus was something I was thinking about. As I have to look it up. Dude, I bet the game ended. The hokey game. Yes, it's over. Anyways, let's see here. What's he from? BSC 26. I know he's from 26. Where's the burst? Yeah, Megalon, not Megadon. Now, he's a burst, and you can tell that by the symbol in the corner. So you'll notice that different Battle Spirits cards kind of have different like circle rings that highlight their cost around them. This guy's a burst. So the cool thing about burst, we get to play them for free most of the time. So burst cards are they're your only like trap card that you can play, and that you can like play it anytime, even on your turn if it's burst conditions are fulfilled. But for the most part, it kind of makes your opponent think a little bit, because they're not going to know what burst it is, and B, sometimes you have to play around triggering it. Sometimes if it goes off from a wind summon effect when advance, you have to be careful that if you have a spirit with the wind summon effects, that you don't summon, let's say, a cost 3 spirit on turn 1, and then your opponent gets to play a cost 8 burst for free, and then disrupt not only your board, but possibly other cards that might be in your hand, could be your deck, there could be catastrophic drawbacks from leroying. Sick! Nolan says we got 3 viewers! You ready to build some Battle Spirits Godzilla decks? I was going to do a Godzilla noise there because I was like super hyped, but you know what? Maybe I won't make a Godzilla. Because I don't want to scare people away. Anyways, thanks for stopping by. We're building big old kaijus. We got Biollante. Dude, that was a good Biollante. Because, I don't know, all like little hand things make like different noises. But I'm building a Biollante deck right now. And there's a bunch of different pieces that I'm working for. So, you got your Godzillas, right? You always gotta have a Godzilla. You always gotta have that big old lizard guy. And then you got your Mothras, right? Now your Mothras are here to treat in your big spirits. So your Biollantes and your Godzillas, you want to be able to treat them in. You don't want to pay full cost. You just want them to strut into the battlefield without doing anything. You want it to be effortless. And that is what this deck aims to accomplish. Now, let's see here. There's 3 versions of the Godzilla, of the Burning Kaiju King Godzilla. Do I play that card in the... I don't play it in the Destroyer deck, do I? Can you check?
Which card?
Just check the Destroyer deck for... I got my other battle, this guy right here. It's the cost 6 X rare. The Burging, the Kaiju King Burning Godzilla. I think I might have put him in the Biolante, or not the Biolante deck, the Destroyer deck, because it's kind of like accurate to like whatever happens in the movie. But because like right now I play it. This is the Godzilla versus Mothra deck that I have right here. Double sleeved and everything. Big Moth, big Godzillas, other Godzillas. So, yeah, I got my secret rares. Oh, this card's so beautiful. That is one of the hottest looking cards ever. But that's what happens in the orange sleeve spread. That's what the Destroyer deck is in. So I'm trying to think of how I want to move these. In this burst, it's very underwhelming. I'll read you what this little insect guy, Megalon, does. Well, I guess they're all kaiju, so none of them are little. So, a burst! After the opposing hand is increased by the opposing effect, so I wonder if, I guess it doesn't even, huh. I was thinking of like flash change. There's like abilities that let you exchange places on the field in your hand. Now, if there's only one card that you're bringing back to your hand, of course that would increase your hand size. But if you're bringing back 2 cards, maybe that would work. But it's more like if your opponent like draws cards or like gets something back from the trash, maybe. Who knows?
Not there.
What's not? It's not in that deck? What deck would I be playing that card in then? I don't want the box. I'm streaming. I got no room to look for that card because there's. Gosh, it's only like you're not doing anything. So there's 3 printings of that card. There's the X rare from the set. There's the secret rare from the set, and then there's a reprint. I want to say like SR from like Digimon or whatnot, but it's not necessarily an SR. So it's definitely. I don't think I play it at all in the deck you're looking at right there, which is the Shin Godzilla deck. There's so many things that I have to take into. Oh, dude, I got this track. Okay. Megalon. That's my rewind sound effect. After the opposing hand increases by opposing effect, summon the spirit card without paying the cost. So you're already like, all right, cost 7 spirit. I'm cheating it into play. Level 1, 2. When summoned, for each 2 cards in the opposing hand, exhaust an opposing spirit. Makes them off guard. Probably won't. Not, like I said, not that exciting. Level 2, which only takes 3 core, when attacks. When this spirit attack reduces the opposing life, send an opposing life to the reserve. So it does have a burn effect, which Battle Spirits loves their burn effects. It's just not worth the resources. It's really not. Is it cool to be able to play a cost 7 spirit for free? Yes. Is 6,000 or 10,000 BP exciting? Not at all. It's actually pretty like super duper duper underwhelming. Like not hype at all. So I really want to just like write this card out because it's it's just so underwhelming and it's not really fun to play at all.
I knew it was.
Well, it's Godzilla verse. Yeah. So I got one in there. I got one in Godzilla versus Mothra. Am I not using the third version?
There's 2 in there.
Well, there's gonna be 3.
Oh,
What I'm talking about is the versions. There's 3 separate printings of it. Is what I'm trying to get across to you. And I only want to play the 3 different like printings of it. Gosh, hopefully I didn't put them in like Mecha Godzilla.
Nope. I checked every
Both of them?
I checked every deck. It's only in that in particular. In here.
Then I must have like thousands of that card. Because that would honestly be like a really good card to put in this deck. Because it self-destructs. And then you just get to play it. Can you get my Godzilla Battle Spirits white box? And I'll look through it.
Oh.
Because now I'm curious. I'm curious. Should I start saying that? I'm curious. You'll have to move your trade binders. Novolance has the cards we got cards everywhere. We are a trading card game. It's making scratchy noises. Alright. I'm still here. I'm just reaching. It's gonna only be at this side, so clunk. You're gonna hear a little bit of clunking as I try and grab some pads. Alright, these are my proxies. These are not it. Orga's not bad, but it's not going to accomplish what I want. No, because, okay, I always keep thinking that with Giant Mothra, I'm like, oh, I can just cheat things into play, and I'm like, that's right, they have to be green. It's almost like it'd be unfair if you could play any card. Ooh, yeah, I think they're all just the SRs that I have left in there. Novolance is being a total pro over here and helping me look through this. And the thing is that I can't stream unless Novolance. So yeah, so this is my. I guess I could put this Violence in, but he's damaged and it's just so scratched. I don't know. It feels wrong. Feels wrong. Feels wrong to put you in. You're benched. It's not. I know it's not your fault. Oh, found him. Found him. Because okay, I'm a lot better right now taking this guy into consideration. Just based upon the fact that I'm not playing. I really thought I was using him. I am super surprised that I'm not using him in the third deck until now. But you'll notice with this foil, it's just like an SR. It doesn't necessarily. I'm checking the condition of the cards because I ordered a ton of these cards from Japan, and sometimes you just have to take what you get. Great, they look like they're in pretty decent shape. Look at that guy, big ol'. That's exactly how Godzilla sounds. Alright, I'm doing the scratch test over here to see how scratched they are. No, they're in great shape. So now is what do you take out, what do you keep in? So let's take out these little moths. For sure, one rowdy dinosaur. I don't even know if I should play. See, that's the thing. Like I'm so interested in diversity with this deck, but it just feels so difficult to fit the diversity into the deck. And maybe I do only play the 2 Biolantes. But the thing is, like, it's a Biolante deck, so you want to be able to drop as many Biolantes as I was going to say humanly possible, but this is like kaiju-ly possible, because they're kaijus. But do you play the three burning Godzillas? I mean, I think you kind of have to because the card is cracked. It's so good. Do I take out all these little moths? I think the answer is yes. I think the answer is definitely yes. There's so many other cards that you can play. If I play a quarter of the, yeah, I'm taking you out. There's other things that we can play. I don't mind I think being able to search for the moths is good. Kaiju possible. Are you curious? Curious? That makes me really curious. So take 3 of these guys out. Because we want diversity. We don't want a deck that... We're using the Mothras only to cheat. That's it. We're going to be cheat wads. We gonna cheat, play it! And then after that, you're just like, forget about it. Forget about it. So, now our Godzilla lineup has grown. We got Godzillas, we got rowdy dinosaurs, and we got birds. So, we got some interesting new fellas in. Now, the real question is do I take out the last moth? Are there kaijus that you wish I could use, but they are just too bad? Like half of them? Like legitimately half of them? I mean, and like Megalon, he could be cool, but he's an awful card. King Caesar's kind of cool, but he's an awful card. Kamakiris is pretty cool, but it's an awful card. Megaguirus is super cool, but guess what? Yeah, it's an awful card. He is not good at all. He's awful. He's not. Little ASMR Godzilla for y'all, for all you ASMR people. That's ASMR is kind of creepy. But I guess if I'm playing like these 4 like little Biolances, yeah, I've made my decision. I'm playing 6 Biolantes, but that's so many big spirits. The only thing I'm kind of considering right now is this Rodan. Or maybe I just do 3 and 3. 3 Infant Islands, 3 Rose Blooming in Lakes. Yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna put... That's just my chapstick. I'm moving my chapstick. That was a loud tap. Yeah, we're gonna put this card back in. Max it out to 3. Because consistency, the ASMR did not make it. You couldn't hear my ASMR. You can't hear my ASMR. You definitely can hear that. There's no way you can't hear that. That was
I heard it that time, not the first time.
You totally could hear that. And if anyone else is watching, they're like, this is literally one of the creepiest things. It is very creepy. I gotta admit it. Oh, that feels great though. That feels great. This deck is pretty much done. This is the only card that's missing is my Biolante. Oh, it feels so good. Now like with my Mothra deck though, it almost makes me want to put in the last Batra. So I played 2 Batra. I kind of want to put in a 3rd Batra now. But I don't know what I would want to take out. I mean, I want to play all the big moths. Maybe I drop Rainbow Moth down to 2? No, because I threw... Oh my gosh, the Batras are so... Oh, no, I'll just take this guy out. I'm just dropping this guy like crazy. Oh, the magic cards are so beautiful. Dude, I can't wait to play Battle Spirits. I can't wait to play Battle Spirits when I'm doing this deck editing. So Rodan, I want to test... Yeah, I'm going to test out this is definitely the build. I'm going to test it out. Let's do a couple of test shuffles. So, but... We'll just proxy. We'll just put a card face down. Like, what's this face down? What is this face down card? It's a Biolontia. Yeah, because if I'm playing 3 of this Rose form, you gotta maximize it by dropping the big guys. I hear Nobleland's typing away. I set my buy. Why are you doing defense mode? You a defense mode type of person? But these are all the cards that have been like taken out and abused and like, you know what? He's not good enough. You don't make the cut. You're benched. And then our magic cards over here. I've almost put this one Godzilla magic card into like every deck because it is like the only draw card in the Godzilla set that's like super consistent. Draw 2 cards. If you use your soul core, you draw a 3rd card. Pretty good. So far, I think I'm pretty proud of the way that this deck is turning out. I am so surprised that I'm playing the other Godzilla in the Ghidorah deck. But it's probably because the Ghidorah deck is like kind of super awful. It's Ghidorah is okay, but it needs help. It needs help, and by when I say needs help, I mean like it needs other cards to carry it. Maybe I gotta put that card in because I mean it has decent search power. Interesting. I might have to look at that Ghidorah deck again because adding that consistency can be super important. Now the only thing, like, yes, you do like have a little bit of a fear of bricking with this deck, because what 3 cost 8, 3 cost 6, 3 cost 10, 3 cost 7 spirits. So technically that's a quarter of your deck. That's 12 cards out of 40 cards. What is that? Divide it down to 4, so 3/10 of your deck are cards that are just way too expensive for you to play, and you're not playing them anytime soon, type of thing. Like you gotta wait, and that's kind of the reason why I put these nexuses back in. Is that yeah, you want to be able to search and find your pieces, but at the same time, the reduction is critical for you to be able to play your stronger spirits. You can't play your strong spirits. You're not gonna just drop massive amounts of like core and resources just for your cards to get like ripped off the face of the planet. I'm so proud of myself, but now I want to fit in like another. I kind of want to fit in another Batra in this deck. The Batra is so cool. Oh, look at that! They face each other. Novalance always builds her binders where her cards face each other because she likes it when they look like they're gonna battle. Right, Novalance?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like 2 seconds behind the
Oh,
stream.
that's okay. Dude, Danny Coon had like a 40-second delay. So I was like, he'd like ask a question. See, that's one of my streamers I watch. He's a Call of Duty pro. And Danny Coon would just be like, you're like, dude, I got a 40-second delay. So you like ask him a question, and then you like think like, oh, he's ignoring me, and then he answers it like a minute later. Like, I'm not making fun of him. It's just like I just thought it was kind of funny because he was like the viewer. I was like, am I getting ignored? Which I mean, can happen. Not necessarily the best, but it be like that sometimes. It definitely be like that. Super X2 is it? Got some ultra armor, discard burst when you've done so, but that's not bad. So now she got me thinking about the I can't even think of it. The Ghidorah deck. There's a fair amount of Ghidorah cards, but at the same time, a lot of them are bad. There's not a lot of good Ghidorah cards. Even this burst is awful. After your life decreases, oh my gosh, that card is so bad. It's just gonna die, and then you're gonna like, oh, my value is gone. It's gone so fast. It's as you can tell, it can definitely be a grind to find good cards. Okay, like this Dagger card. This art is so beautiful, but the card is there's no. It's a 6 red cost spirit with 5 ruby reduction. So you could play it for cheap. Level 1 is 12,000 BP at 1 core, which is strong. Level 2 is only 3 core for 15,000, so it gets strong real fast, but there's no abilities. You kind of just look at it and you're like, you could have been good. You could have been good. And then they chose to make you awful. And kind of super lame. So when I'm thinking about the Ghidorah deck now, I'm kind of thinking about, because it's a Godzilla and Ghidorah deck. So maybe that is one of the reasons. I mean, I know that the core gain is awful in that deck. I mean, it really doesn't generate resources. It legitimately is one of the slowest decks that I own. But that doesn't mean it can't be destructive. That doesn't mean at all that the deck can't actually cause some havoc. I mean, the Advent Ghidorah is so cool. What is it, Ghidorah? Gosh! 1968 Ghidorah. 50 years ago! 50 years ago! And so this is a really interesting thing that I like to kind of dive into. 50 years ago. That doesn't mean that you were being born 50 years ago doesn't do it. You have to be born at least 60 years ago. Maybe 55, 56. For you to even being able to comprehend what you've watched. I remember seeing Star Wars when I was in first grade or kindergarten or whatnot. It was just a movie. You're just watching stuff. Sometimes you don't process it. Sometimes you don't remember it. So you may have seen things when you were a kid or toddler, but you might not have remembered it. So for me, it's really interesting when they print cards or when there are cards with these expansive backgrounds like this Ghidorah that no one knows it, that no one could have experienced it firsthand. It's only this pass me down thing where, oh, my dad really liked Godzilla, or I found Godzilla on Saturday morning cartoons when they did Godzilla 2000, or hey, I went to Godzilla for my birthday party, and then you have to go back and start uncovering the vast history, the vast lore that is Godzilla. 1968, it's just so long ago. It's just crazy to believe and think, and you think back that far. It's a really interesting thing because no one really experienced that. So a lot of a lot of exciting things about Godzilla and Godzilla fans is that Godzilla fans know that they've had to do their research. Because you probably haven't seen more than, let's say you were born in the 80s, maybe 10 Godzilla movies have been made since then. So that's a fair amount, but I think there's I don't know, almost as many Godzilla movies as there is James Bond movies. Let's ask Google. How many Godzilla movies are there? Didn't give me a number. I just wanted a number. 36 films in the franchise. Oh my gosh. That's so many films. That's the James Bond series, that's 25. Or 26, I think it is. That is such an expansive amount of lore. And it's such an expansive amount of lore. So, these decks are pretty much done. I mean, yes, I do want to add the Batra into this deck. I do want to see more diversity. I don't want to take out the Armor Moss for sure. Never moving this extra. This extra is so good. This Batra's he's not that good. And by not that good, I mean like almost like awful. Oh, I think I said I was just gonna take out one of the core generating guys for him. Yeah, so then I'm not tripping. He's gonna be easy to put in there. He's gonna be easy. It's just there's some definitely some like super expensive guys, and then there's a lot of cheapos. But the cheap guys are kind of your combo extenders. So I mean, I don't think it will be that bad though, putting him in. It's just now I got because the Ghidorah deck now. Well, this monster deck is good. This Biolante deck is good. This is the so let me kind of put him on the top because this deck is more of a Godzilla versus Mothra deck. That's why they're both in. You'll notice that this card is in most of the decks because getting free resources kind of good. Everyone likes free resources. Like, oh, you play this card, you plus. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it, player. That's all you gotta do. So, you're gonna, dude. I think it's just gonna be a common thing that I just play two of this guy in my Mothra decks because it's good, but it's not the main focus. The main focus is Godzilla and Mothra. So you know what? This guy is gonna get a little attention after all. We're gonna put in this burning kaiju Goji. Hey, I think that must be from the what movie? What movie? What movie? This must be from the Godzilla versus Destroyer movie. And I know I do my double sleeving upside down, but one day I will change it. But until that day comes, it's cool. All right, because I mean this deck does play the Grandwalker Nexuses, but this card deserves some spotlight. And honestly, this Infant Island, maybe I take out the Infant Island. I don't know. Now I'm thinking about Godzilla versus my Godzilla deck versus Mothra deck because we definitely want Mothra to be a highlight. We definitely want Mothra to be something that they're afraid of. But at the same time, let's see. So 3 Mothras is 12. Oh, that's 9. 3 times 3 is 9, Neon Omen. Plus these 2, which would be 11. So that's still a quarter of your deck. So that's still 25% is Mothras. And you play this card to search Mothra, so I think that's okay. And then you look at your Godzillas. See, a lot of these Godzillas are, like, these guys, like, do the damage. Some of these other guys just kind of search. There are good Godzillas, and there are not good Godzillas. And we try to play the good Godzillas. Now, one of the funniest things, do you mean the Nexus, the G Summit, and the Ghidorah deck, since it can be part white due to the Mecha King Ghidorah? No, the G Summit is the one where they're all sitting in the room. It's just like an oval office. Are you talking about the wreckage of Mecha King Ghidorah? It's like the wreckage of Mecha King Ghidorah's head. But that card, the only thing that card really does is it lets your Kirus, your Mecha Godzillas, and King Ghidorah's. How can I forget about the card that's on the art? How can I forget? And the name of it, the wreckage of Mecha King Ghidorah. So King Ghidorah, Kiru, and Mecha Godzilla all benefit from that card. So that it's not. And the other thing is, like, I was trying to have like a lot of diversity because Mecha Godzilla Summit isn't that good of a card. It's really not. It takes 4 core to be able to say that spirit's not attacking. 4 core is a lot. But in some of those Mecha Godzilla decks, though, there are some heavy cost spirits. So sometimes it might be a Mexican standoff. Sometimes you might just not have the resources to be able to play half the cards that you have. And sometimes when that happens, you're like, huh. Draw, pass. Draw. Oh, I mean, that was a Yu-Gi-Oh thing. Draw, set, pass. No, you just draw. You're just like, might be able to set a burst. Other than that, your turn. Man, I ordered all these Megalons just to not play him because he is mid would be an understatement. He is he is lame. Well, at least we get to make this Anguirus and this Rodan a little happy because they get to be protected. And this Godzilla tearing apart the Biolante. All these cards. What if you'll just listen to like card shuffling ASMR? What a classic core draw pass, dude. It is a classic. It is the least fun thing to do in a card game. Draw, pass. Your opponent's just like, that's it? You're like, yep, that's it. It's almost, but what do you think the worst game is to draw pass? Maybe Digimon, because you just have to give them 3 free resources. Yeah, no one likes the Digimon too. Yeah, it's gotta be Digimon. Because if you just like draw pass, just like, I'm just gonna give you resources, and they're like, okay, don't mind if I do. Absolutely agree with that. Absolutely agree with. I just really don't think that there's anything else that I could jam into the Ghidorah deck that A adds like fun diversity, but B makes the deck better. Because I don't want to take something out and make it worse and make it like unplayable. Because like I want diversity in the decks. Yes, you may see that I play like the Infinite Island card in like all the Godzilla Mothra decks, but if you're playing Mothra, why aren't you playing Mothra consistency? So that's a really important takeaway. I could take out that card from that deck and put in more Godzillas because it's a Godzilla. Well, no, because it's Godzilla versus Mothra because Mothra's in the name. It's almost funny that I probably almost shouldn't play that card in the Biolante deck, but when cheating the cards in, it's like half of your strategy. You can kind of see why it would be important to play that card. Let's see here. Thinking about the Ghidorah deck. Ghidorah deck. I mean, you do throw a few cards in the trash, so there are a few cards that you do use to recover your trash. I did used to play, oh my gosh, what was it, like Monster X? It's a 5-cost spirit with only 2 reduction. Needs to be level 2, 3, which takes 3 core to draw 2 cards when attacks. Drawing 2 cards is great, but it's so underwhelming. If it dies, you get to play. What do you get to play? You get to play Kaiser Ghidorah. Kaiser Ghidorah is so cool. It's a 10-cost spirit. When summoned, destroy any number of opposing spirits or ultimates of a total 1,000 of 15,000 BP. But it's a 10-cost spirit with 6 reduction. So if you don't play it for free, you're probably never playing it. And it's just going to sit in your hand and it's going to be dead. So you kind of just can't do that. I'm pretty sure I play Orga. I'm pretty sure I play Orga in that deck. But there's just not a lot of consistency cards that you can play. Maybe I might have to consider the Anguirus and Rodan route so that you might be able to get some additional draws and not feel bad about it. Because, I mean, the Mecha Ghidorah deck, the Ghidorah deck doesn't benefit from throwing things in the graveyard, in your trash. It doesn't. It doesn't move your strategy forward at all. You almost just get mad. You're just, especially like if you're revealing cards and you don't get a hit, you're just like, I might never be getting this back. And sometimes with the King Ghidorah deck, if you throw away cards that are powerful, it can it can like suck. You can just like, cool, I threw these away and I might not get them back, and they might be like the only, because in the Ghidorah deck, there's really only two strong ones. There's the Advent one, which is the 1968 one. Advent allows you to just stack the card onto your other card by sending your Soul Core to the trash, and that's usually during the attack step. And the other one can summon for free when your Ghidorah spirits are destroyed. So, I mean, you do want to max out on your Ghidorah spirits, or your King Ghidorah spirits. Oh gosh, there's just so many bad King Ghidorahs. It's not my fault. Y'all ban it. 1991, the year I was born, is the worst King Ghidorah. Ugh. It's cost 7 with 3 ruby, 1 sapphire. When summoned, destroy 3 opposing 7,000 BP or less spirits or ultimates. You do get the reach that it could hit. It could hit ultimates. But you you want it to, you want the card to, it's just not good. There's just no benefit. Like 7,000 is lame. So yeah, you can maybe hit ultimates. And then Assault 2. When attacks, the spirit up to twice per turn can be refreshed by exhausting one of your nexuses. God, it's so lame. I mean, a 7-cost spirit with 2 core at 10,000 BP. It's just not that. It's not scary at all. It doesn't create a sense of fear at all. Not a good card. But regardless of that, there are some good cards. We did finish a deck tonight, so super proud about that. Kind of finished 2 decks because I kind of concluded the fact with the Monster Basher deck of how I'm going to play it. Now, the Godzilla vs. Mothra deck, I think I'm pretty much safe to say that the way I'm going to play it is the right way to play it. Where Mothra is just kind of sitting there in the background, it might be able to help, but for the most part, you are going to use them just to get core and maybe annoy your opponent by bouncing spirits. Like I said, I like to play decks that there are multiple different ways for your deck to do things. And if you're not getting your main strategy, you're not completely just out of luck. You definitely have options. Like Digimon, option cards. Digimon. So, we'll definitely, I don't know if I'm going to do any more Godzilla decks as far as editing a lot right now, because I think, I feel like I just spent like the last, I don't know what I want to say, last like 3 months editing my Godzilla decks. I think I finally just made King Ghidorah like, okay, you know what? I think I have to leave, because Ghidorah's like a red deck, but there's like red-white, and I guess like having a red-green card in it isn't the end of the world, but I think that deck's okay. So, next stream, we're gonna have a lot of Gundam stuff coming out soon. So, we're gonna have Gundam decks, like crazy decks. I still have Evangelion decks I need to edit, I still have Digimon decks I need to edit, I still have my Penta decks, so we're building a lot of these decks on stream, or we're going to kind of be figuring out the finishing touches. Now, what we're also going to be doing is Nova Lance and I are going to be playing against each other in these streams that are coming on up. So, you definitely want to be here when we're battling each other on stream. So, stay tuned for that. We'll absolutely be doing more stuff like that. I'm proud of myself. We built the deck. Let's get late. So, I'm pretty proud of the stream that we had going on. I'm thankful for everybody that stopped by tonight to watch the stream. It was a great time. Nova Lance is now Gundam Nova Lance and Gundam Neon Omen. Yay, Nova Lance. You want to come say hi?
No.
She don't want to come say hi. She's a little camera shy today. All right, everybody. Eat a cookie. All right. I'll catch everyone